married before I had quite finished college. We moved to Chicago, where I took my last semester at a small college where they had a course in social movements, and that fit very much with my husband's desire to help people in need. So that eventually became his way of practicing medicine. He wanted to be a doctor ever since he was a little boy. He practiced for about 17 years in Phoenix, and so many patients would come to see him for various reasons, but they were stooped over like old people instead of their age, which was closer to 40. He went to the fields and watched people working, saw that they were using a hoe about a foot and a half long, very heavy. They had to stoop over to thin the lettuce or do the weeding 10 hours a day, 6 or 7 days a week. Eventually, that affected their spines, and he realized that that hoe was the reason. But because of that problem, he worked to get that hoe banned. That was part of his duty as a doctor, to see if he could prevent a serious problem. When we decided to come to Tucson, I came with him, and at first I didn't work with him, but then after a couple of years, he wanted me to travel with him to the rural clinics where he worked part of the time and tend to paperwork and appointments and just share ideas for new programs. The very first mobile clinic visit was in the Yaqui village outside of Marana, but when my husband offered to come in, they were very doubtful at first. The men were sort of protecting the women in that little compound of little houses, but he soon charmed them all, and they looked forward to his visits every 2 weeks. So we both got to travel to many places. I usually made a picnic lunch before we started out if it was just a one-day trip. That would save time and money and perhaps was a little healthier. We could almost always eat in the car, even in hot weather. We'd find a shady tree and relax and have our lunch, and then go back to whatever clinic he was assigned to. We were very lucky with all of the Spanish influence here, and driving across the country, smelling the orange blossoms and looking at the Spanish street names. That was just a very fortunate experience. So I think maybe we were destined to come to Arizona.